Welcome, everybody, to Sober Life Podcast. I'm your host, Scott Jones, coming to you live from the Sober Life studio. I want to thank you all for listening in and remind you it's very, very important. Take a moment, subscribe to the channel, like the show, and leave your comments. Your comments are very important to us. As you know, on Sober Life Podcast, we like to look at the positive side of recovery from mental health issues, recovery from addictions, recovery from anything. There's enough people out there that are going to tell you all the bad stuff that's going on and tell you the horror stories. Although we may have a story or two that might shake you a little bit, we're not here to focus on that. We're here to focus on living your best life, living a life of recovery, and just exploding into the world, living out loud and doing all of those things. That's what we're doing right here. If you want more information about everything we do, you can go to soberlifestudios.com. Or you can go to onebrother1sister.com and learn about our nonprofit and how we help first responders throughout the country at no cost to them deal with PTSD, mental health, and addictions. All that being said, that was a whole lot of words, and I'm sure now you're ready for me to talk to somebody else because you're tired of hearing me already. I am talking to, Corey Liuget.
Yes, sir.
Is that it? I got it right?
You got it right.
Corey Liuget.
Money.
It's not going to get better than this. We're ending the show now. This is Corey Liuget, who is a former NFL player. Is that how you say it? Former or retired, or what do you?
Yeah, former, retired, all the same. It works.
But you left on your choice.
Yes, I left on my choice.
Remember that, because not a lot of NFL players get
to do that. Yes.
They don't get to do that. So you're an NFL. Let's start at the beginning, Corey. First of all, where are you from?
Originally, I'm from here, Miami, Florida, Liberty City.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Liberty City.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you grew up in an area where there was a lot of things going on there. You saw a lot of dirt, I guess. Oh, right?
Yeah. I saw it all. I saw it all at the age of 5 or 6, man. I mean, I seen the pimps, I seen the drugs, I seen the the prostitution, I seen the whole gamut. I seen the murders, I seen the fights. Yeah, I seen it all.
Now, you were obviously focused enough to play football, get into college, and then get into the NFL. That's a lot of focus coming from an area where a lot of kids don't make it out of that lifestyle. What was different for you?
I had a praying grandmother and a praying mother. That's what saved me. I feel like more than anything, because I was troubled. I was lost.
So wait, you're one of those guys who goes out on the street. I'm not afraid of anybody. You get home, you're scared to death of these two women, right?
Oh yeah. And I had 8 aunts as well and 8 uncles. So you can imagine. So they.
I imagine the uncles weren't a factor. So the women are the real factor in that kind of stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. The women. Yeah. I lived with one of my aunts. And she was a force to reckon with. Trying to keep order on top of my mom keeping order. So it's like I had a triple whammy. But guess what? I still find time, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure you probably made some mistakes and done some things. I mean, back then.
Yeah.
But, were there other people that were also doing well, or did you see a lot of your friends and different people you grew up with fall by the wayside?
Oh, yeah. Several of my friends. I mean, in my neighborhood, it was probably a total of 13 of us around the same demographic age. And out of the 13 of us, all 12 of us, 2 ended up dead before they were 20. And the other 10 went to prison. And I was the one that went off to become and do something successful with myself.
Wow. So did you come out of, how old were you when you got out of that situation?
Man, to be honest, when I left for college.
When you left. So all the way through high school, you were living in this where it was more common to fail than to succeed and get out.
Oh, yeah.
And you had these great women in your life. You had all this stuff. But was there anything personal inside of you that said, I'm going to be doing something better? I'm going to be something?
Yeah, there was there came a time in my life where I knew I wanted something different. And as crazy as this sound, I was sitting in my neighborhood one day, and it had to be a 2005 or 2006 Jaguar. And a guy drove through the neighborhood in it. And that was my first time ever seeing a Jaguar. It was a blue Jaguar. No tents on it.
The old style, right? Old style. Not that new one looks like a Ford.
Yeah. The old style Jaguars. Yeah. I mean, with the curves on front of the hood. And the back of it was kind of rounded. And the Jaguar was on the front just roaring at you. Yeah, so that Jaguar. I saw a blue one, S-type. Jaguar S-type. and it just cruised through the neighborhood, and you can see the lights on the inside, and I saw the rims, chrome, blue, and I'm like, man, I want to know what it's like to drive one of those. And at that time, I'm looking at the guy driving it, and I didn't know who the guy was or what he did, but it just looked so appealing to me at that time.
Mhm.
That's like, I want to be successful, and I want to own something as nice as that. Because all the cars I lived in was broke, old, used. I mean, we were so poor that we had that whole our glove compartment. We had to put a stick up, like to shove the glove compartment closed, and we had to sit and drive with a stick in between our legs in the front seat.
We had to weld a stop sign to the floor of the car so the kids wouldn't fall through onto the highway.
You understand?
It was all
rusted out. Yeah, yeah. So you understand these stories, and the chairs in the
Totally.
back ripped up, and I mean, you got the cushion coming out of it, the ceilings falling down, and the stuff falling into your eyes, bro. Thumbtacks to hold the material up. So that's how I grew up.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up, man. And for me, I was like, dude, I want something better. After I saw that car, I was like, there is better out here.
And something inside you knew you could do it.
I could do it. I can do it.
That's got to be a testament again to the women in your family that kept saying, if you do the right thing, good things will happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what happened. And that night, might not have been that particular night, but sometimes within that next week or two, I started jogging around my neighborhood running, not knowing what I'm doing. Never exercised a day in my life. I'm just running.
Wow.
I put a trash bag on and I just started running, doing laps. And that summer, this is probably my 8th grade year. That summer, I'm walking in my neighborhood with one of my buddies who got murdered. He got killed by the police. D-Roy Merritt. I'm walking in my neighborhood with him, and we stumble across a guy named Daryl Bernard who played at Hialeah High, and he had just graduated from New Mexico State. So he left, went to New Mexico State, came back home, and now he's coaching at his alma mater. He sees us walking, and he's like, "Hey, what are y'all doing?" We're like, nothing. Probably for to find trouble, find some weed, do something that was not smart. He said, "Man, y'all come with me to Hialeah." I'm like, shoot, this sounds like a good thing for me, you know? I'm coaching out there. So, all right, cool. We get in the car with him. We go to Hialeah, and to be honest, the rest is fucking history.
Wow.
The rest is history. Never look back.
You just knew.
Just knew. I just knew.
That's amazing. So I don't imagine it was still a smooth ride, because there's still a lot of people trying to influence you to do the wrong thing. Because when you're in, certain neighborhoods, a lot of your friends are saying, "Hey, don't do that." My son was one of those people. He started playing football. He was very successful, but he had his friends come to the game, and after every game, they'd harass him, saying, "Come on and hang out with us.
Yeah,
let's smoke some dope. Let's do this. Let's do that." And he finally gave in. Did you deal with some of that pressure as well?
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely did. I mean, I had my hiccups. I was in high school doing things that young kids do. I had a girlfriend at that time, and she influenced a little bit of it at that time. Like, "Hey, come hang out at the party and come hang out with us. I want you to come to the party."
She was good looking. You can't say no.
Man,
what are you gonna do?
I got a wife
That's
now.
nature.
I got a wife now, man. She was Colombian, and I mean, as you can imagine,
you definitely don't say no. Then
You definitely don't say no. You might end up with your let's not go that route. But yeah, man.
That's cool.
So yeah, I was definitely influenced throughout high school, which played a small part in some shaping me up as well too.
Right.
Yeah, played a small part.
Because you're moving into where'd you go to college?
The University of Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any particular reason you chose that one, or obviously they wanted you to play.
Yes.
But was there another reason for going up there?
The main 2 reasons. The staff was absolutely amazing. Shout out to my former head coach, Ron Zook, and the guy who I work for now, Mike Loxley, who's the head coach at the University of Maryland. Big shout outs to both of those guys, Reggie Mitchell, Keith Gilmore, Tom Sims, the whole crew that was there. But the other component to it, they kind of used the influence and told one of my high school coaches that he'll probably get an opportunity to come up and work at the school. So, but that never happened. So that's why I chose the school, because oh man, my coach would come. All right, I'm gonna go too.
Okay.
But that never happened. It is what it is. The history is done.
So now you're in. Now I also know going into college now, it's a whole new world. More influences to do the wrong thing, or to maybe go out and party too much, or do this, do that. So I imagine you've built up a nice resume of saying no to the wrong thing growing up, going in high school. So was that easier for you in college to stand on your own and say, I'm not going to do that?
To an extent, yeah. But once again, we're in college.
Yeah,
I'm in college, dude. So it's like the booze, the access to certain things. Yeah. I'm like the big man on campus. There's 50,000 kids here, and if you're an athlete and you're walking on campus, it's like so much things that are going on that it's hard to say, hey, I'm going to chill today. At that time, especially my freshman year. Now, when it came around my sophomore year, I was still hanging out, but my junior year, I was totally focused because I'm like, wait, this is an opportunity for me to go do something special with myself even more. So I didn't party my last year in college. I didn't do any drinking. I had one girlfriend. I wasn't trying to see multiple girls at that time. I was just so focused, and I knew what I wanted to get done. But the influence was fucking here. I mean,
so we talked about, like, as a child, you lost friends, or you saw them maybe a little bit down the road really get hurt. Did you see people blow it in college too, where they're like, you got so much talent, it could be so great, and you're blowing it?
Yeah, because there were several guys on the team, but one in particular that kind of stood out the most to me. It was a kid from Jacksonville that had all of the potential and all of the upside for his life. So I got to college in 2008. He got there in 2007. And this kid, I mean, he was NFL ready when you look at him. And he was a defensive lineman.
Right.
Very good dude. When I look at the whole, his whole life, his upbringing. But once he got to college, I didn't know that he drank so much liquor. Every day he was down in a bottle of liquor. Every day. And eventually the coach could not help him. They could not, get him to stop drinking. So they told him, hey, listen, you got to go back home. We can't help you. We didn't know that you had all of these issues and that you were going to be this way. So he transferred, goes to Eastern Illinois. Then he goes to Eastern Illinois. Then he leaves and goes to University of Memphis, where his career just kind of plummeted. What he's doing now, I don't know. But that guy messed up such a great opportunity for his life just to the bottle.
And that made an impression on you.
Yeah, no doubt. Because this guy goes from being all world. He was supposed to be me before me. He was my example. He was there to, groom me, and he was going to go first. And then I was going to be the next guy to be up, and unfortunately it just didn't go that way.
Do you think there's a connection sometimes if you have so much natural talent where you don't have to work as hard as somebody else, where you take it for granted and you lose it? Yeah. It's easier to lose when it's just, but when you work hard for it, you want to hold on.
You want to hold on to it. Yeah, you want to.
But when there's that much natural talent, you see a lot of these guys fall off, and you're like, he could have been great.
Yeah. That is the case in many of cases. Even currently, right now, to this day, with guys in the NFL, that's the case right now. A lot of guys can't leave the weed alone. A lot of guys can't put the bottle down. And I'll be honest, as a player, I mean, I battle with the bottle as well. Not as much, but just drinking. Period. I should not have been drinking that. As a professional athlete, you don't want to drink.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be drinking or putting anything in your body that's not premium fuel for you to perform at your best at all times.
Your body is your race car.
It's your race car.
You don't put garbage gas in your race car. You make sure everything's premium, everything's good. Does that make sense? You shouldn't be doing that.
Shouldn't be doing it.
But you still see it.
You still see it. Still see it.
And so now you went through Illinois. You went into the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Was that exciting for you? Did you kind of at some point know ahead of time, or was it still up to the last minute? You just weren't sure.
Just up to the last minute. I wasn't sure. Yeah. As crazy as this may sound, I got drafted and I walked on stage, and I didn't even understand the magnitude fully. I was like, okay, I got picked to go play in the NFL. I'm like, all right, this is cool. But I didn't fully understand and embrace the experience. I didn't take it all the way in and like, oh man, I didn't fully express the experience or let the experience express itself upon me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. All right, let's go. Let's get to work now. And instead of like, man, dude, this is life changing. Like, when someone hit the lottery, they just become insane. Incredibly happy. I wasn't incredibly happy. I was like, all right. This is cool. Let's go to business. Instead of, dude, this is some dope ass shit. Like I don't know anybody who's ever been able to do this type of shit, and I'm acting nonchalant about it like it fucking happens every day.
But I'm gonna defend that by saying if you win the lottery, all you got to do is go buy a ticket. To get to where you got to, you had to work every single day. Them calling your name was your paycheck for doing your work because you did the work. So maybe there's a little bit of that going on. Maybe it was a little bit of course this is going to happen because I work hard and I'm going to keep working hard.
That was more the approach.
Okay.
Right? The second one, I work hard, so this is supposed to happen to me. At the same time, there's a song by Drake that says, all that hype don't feel the same next year. So enjoy it when it happens. Enjoy the moments, and I did not enjoy it as much as I should have.
Did you have one moment, first time in the locker room, first time taking the field, first time where you did have that little kid come out and say, "Holy shit, look what I'm doing"?
Yes. Well, my first NFL game when I had to line up, and I have Donovan McNabb at quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh,
Philly legend.
Shoot, I was going to say for the Eagles.
Yeah, nope.
That's when he was a traitor.
Yeah.
And he's my Syracuse University guy, too. I'm a Syracuse guy.
You're a Syracuse guy. Yeah. All you ESPN and media guys are Syracuse guys. All of them. Right? So, Donovan McNabb.
Right.
Adrian Peterson in his prime at running back. Percy Harvin.
Holy cow.
Who else was on that squad? Okay. So the guy I had to go up against, Steve Flipping Hutchinson, a Hall of Fame offensive lineman, Alabama, first round draft pick. I had to line up against that guy as a 21-year-old young man. And here it is, he's in year 8 or 9, and he's still rolling like he's 21 years old.
Well, he went deep in his career, too. I mean, that guy was like,
man,
he'd still be playing today if they let him.
They let me do that. Guy fucking double teamed me, man. I rethought football again. I was like, hold up, man. Him and Lowell Hope, man. Them guys double teamed me.
Aren't I supposed to be the aggressive one here? What the hell's going on?
I was like, what in the world? So
that moment you're lined up. You got Donovan and you got Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
I don't know how sometimes you guys just don't stop and just watch him and just say, wow. You know what I mean?
That's what happened to me. That's what I got to play. I went like starstruck, like this Donovan McNabb. What? I'm staring at Adrian Peterson like, dude, I'm really about to try to tackle this cat. Like, what is happening in my moments? Imagine, like, we're lining up, and I'm Adrian Peterson, and you're me, and I'm like, he's in his stance looking like this, and I'm just looking at him biting his damn mouthpiece. I mean, and the guy's ready to go. He's locked in.
It had to be the same day you found out everybody hits hard.
Everybody
it's not just the big guys on the line, the running backs.
Yeah,
but Peterson would run over people, and he'd get a head of steam doing it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I know we're going to talk about the stuff you're doing and how important, but I hope you don't mind me asking a few of these things.
No, go for it.
These are the little things. It's like the excitement. You went to the Rams first, right?
No, I went to the Chargers.
Chargers first. That's what I meant.
Yeah, Chargers drafted me.
That's where you went. The Chargers. I got to ask. If I got one guy sitting here and one guy sitting here, and this guy goes to the Chargers and this guy goes to Green Bay, I mean, is there part of you that says, "Oh shit, it's going to be cold. I don't want to go there"?
Yeah.
I mean, playing for Green Bay would be iconic for anybody. It's fantastic. Even Reggie White at the end of his career went over, had to play with them for a while.
Yes,
but there's got to be a thing where it's like, God, I hope I go somewhere warm.
Oh yeah. Well, let me tell you this. Hold on, wait a second. Now, so I went to University of Illinois.
We're gonna have some truth here, people.
Yeah, I went to University of Illinois. I wanted the Chicago Bears to draft me so flipping bad. I was like, I want to stay in Illinois. I'm a legend here. I hope they draft me. Because 2 years ago, 2 years prior to me, they drafted a kid named Corey Wooden out of Northwestern.
Yeah.
So they kept him home. Like, I hope they do the same with me. Please bring me up. I want to play with this guy. He was all Big Ten. He was all world. Fuck, let me go play there. They have Tommy Harris. They have Mark and they had Adewale. They had a good squad. And I'm like, all right, if it's not Chicago, Houston Texans are telling me they're going to take me at 11. All right, if it's not Houston at 11, then it's going to be the Rams at 14, and they end up taking Robert Quinn. I don't even have to say who the guy who the Houston Texans took, arguably the best defensive in their history, J.J. Watt, with the number 11 pick. So, I mean,
you were in the draft with Watt?
Yeah, they didn't go fucking wrong with that.
No.
Neither did the Rams with Robert Quinn.
Was better than most.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, And he's still a good buddy of mine to this day as well too. JJ.
Oh, really?
Good dude.
He and his brothers do great work out there in the communities too. We'll talk about that.
Dude,
but
them guys are.
There's a lot of good people doing good work.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so you went to the draft and
so I get drafted, thinking I was gonna go there, and then out of nowhere, never once did the Chargers call me. Never once have I had. And when you go to the combine, you get like itinerary. They put it in your room, like, hey, you have to meet with all of these teams. Never once did I even. The Chargers wasn't even on my 20 because I had 24 teams I met with. Never meet with the Chargers at all throughout that whole process, and then boom.
They were like the only team not even close to being on your radar.
Not even close. Dude, they drafted me, and my agent like, hey, man, San Diego's a great place. I'm like, dude, fuck that. Get me a trade. I don't want to go on the other side of the globe. I'm telling him this shit. I'm like, Tony, I don't want to go there. Like, Corey, man, you're going to love it. Trust me, man. I promise you, San Diego's. I'm like, dog, I don't want to go to California. California, Texas is on the other side of the damn the globe to me, it felt like, because I've never been that far west. And I get there, and, man, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I'm like, this can't be real. I'm in California. And, I mean, the mountains, the scenery. Like, as soon as you get off the airport, then you drive, they take you around, and you come off the 8, then you see the University of San Diego, by far one of the most beautiful best campus.
Absolutely. San Diego is a beautiful city to begin with.
Oh, my gosh. And, I mean, the school sits on top of the hill, and you can see all of the Pacific Ocean. You can see SeaWorld. You can see Point Loma. You can see downtown. And I'm like, where am I at? It's a real utopia. A real utopia. So with all that being said, I end up in San Diego, and I'm like, all right, this is fucking home. 7 months later, I ended up meeting my wife, his mother.
Wow.
Prior to that, I met his mom as well. But as I have kids with 2 different women, but my wife has 3 of my 4. No, this is it, son. And dude, I'm like, San Diego is home, always and forever.
Well, I gotta say, good food.
Great food.
Good food. I mean, you go to some places and you can't find a decent anything.
Yeah.
San Diego, any restaurant you go to, you're gonna get good food.
You're gonna get good food. Yeah.
You know, it's like Miami. It's not a whole lot different.
Mm-hmm. Not a whole lot. Just better sceneries of the mountains.
Yeah. Mountains are beautiful.
Yeah, not a ton of difference.
So, all right. So you go into the NFL. You're going in and you're working hard. How long did you play in the NFL?
I played 10 years in the NFL.
10 years.
10 years.
And that's about average for people. People think everybody plays 15 or 20 years. That's not the truth. Most people play 6, 8, 9 years, and that's it.
Yeah, most of the time, yeah. Anywhere from 4 to 6, but the average is 2.5. But 4 to 6 is what most good guys get in, if you're decent enough.
So to talk about the good work you're doing now, I'm going to ask you one more football question, which I always love to ask people. Did you ever come across a player that, maybe even you faced him a couple of times, but you never got over the awe, and it almost like you were almost fangirling, you know what I mean? You were just like, was there ever a player that you played with at the time that just took your breath away like that? That
I played with or played against?
Either one.
All right, so guys that I played against, fucking Julius Peppers.
Really?
Yeah. Looking at that guy is like looking at an action figure. Like I thought they painted his fucking uniform on him. The guy physique is incredible. I mean, his pads fit him like they're snug and like they're just custom to him. I mean, the guy, when he put his hand in the dirt, you can see his horseshoe and his tricep. I mean, huge guy. I mean,
yeah,
fucking baller.
Fast too.
Yeah, fast too. Another guy, of course, Tom Payton, incredible, freaking competitors, athletes.
Your job is to kill these guys.
Yeah, to get after these guys. Yeah,
but that's not. It's when the whistle blows and the game's over. Mm-hmm. Is there a respect for each other? Is there?
Yeah, there's a common.
I'm sure sometimes there's some battles, but
yeah, there's a common respect. But you got to go through them 5 big fuckers first before you can, really get him to like respect. You got to go through his guys to get to him. To get to either one of those guys.
To see those guys play and actually be on the field and be a part of that. It's cool. You're like a part of history.
Yep.
I'll tell you, I met a lot of people in TV, radio, even in the sports world, different places. And I've never been like really in awe until I met one man, Jim Brown.
Met him too.
Jim Brown.
Yeah.
And I actually, when he shook my hand, his hand wrapped like twice around my hand. His hands were so, and I never felt smaller in my life.
Yeah.
Because he just looked, that stare that he does when he looks at you. I just, I think I peed a little. I was scared, man. I was at an Eagles game, and he was there to root on the Browns.
Yep.
And I got a chance. I was down in the tunnel, and he was going by, and I yelled out, "Syracuse!" And he turned around. He came to me. We talked for a moment. But I've never been like in awe of somebody's presence like that. You know, some people have that in sports.
Oh yeah. Jim Brown is one of them guys. Yeah, he's for sure. The guy that had me like that, and as crazy as it sounds, he was a coach. He was a coach, and I met him when I was in Buffalo. He's a University of Miami quarterback. I loved him growing up. Ken Dorsey.
Really?
Ken Philippine Dorsey. Yeah. He was that guy for me for some odd reason. He did for me because I was a huge Miami fan growing up. I love Brett Favre too, but Ken Dorsey was that. I would walk in meetings, but hey, Ken, like, who's saying my name? And he's like, and when you look at Ken now, he's older, but look at him, he's like, man, it's a little. You'll think he's just a little nerd. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just one of the guys that just always in his computer and he's looking up. But I mean, he's a freaking offensive genius. He's an innovator, and man, I was a fan of that guy.
Where is he now? You know,
last he was with Cleveland last year. I recall.
He did good. Okay,
Yeah,
that's what I thought. Somewhere like that, but I couldn't remember. You ever scored a touchdown?
Yes, I scored a touchdown off of the White Freeney sack. How about that? The White Freeney got a sack.
Dwight Freeney sacked, and you grabbed the ball.
Yep, he sacked Colin Kaepernick in San Francisco, and I was able to grab the ball in the end zone and get the touchdown.
See, that's a whole lot of just big names you just said.
Oh yeah,
Dwight Freeney, Colin Kaepernick.
Oh yeah.
How'd that feel?
Oh,
I don't know if you can even put it in words, but
dude, I mean, unfreaking real. And I'm one of the very few people that can say I got a touchdown off of the White Freeney sack.
Yeah.
And I got it. He got the sack against Colin Kaepernick in San Francisco with Frank Gore on the field. With, I mean, Joe Staley as their left tackle. I mean, when you just think about the legends and the guys who were out there playing,
that's so cool.
Like, yeah, man, yeah, it is my NFL journey. I can say was incredible. Everything.
That's fantastic.
Everything I experienced was just unreal and unmatched.
So you left the game or retired from the game. Was it just like you knew it was time? Was it you were starting to shuffle and that was about what was it that said I'm done?
So for me, there was a couple components that played an instrumental effect into that decision. First being I came off of a quad tendon surgery 2 years prior, and I played. A lot of people don't come off of that and play no more. And I played 2 more seasons on a quad tendon tear. All right.
Is that scary when you come back on the field after getting that rehabbing and doing all that?
Yeah.
And the first time you get hit, you're like, oh shit, am I okay?
You're bracing and you're like, did I rehab enough? Did I get this thing strong enough? So yeah, I was battling the fear. Where were we?
So you were like, trying not to get injured again after that.
Yeah.
And so now that's one factor that now you're thinking. And what else was it that lent itself to saying I'm done?
The general manager of the Houston Texans, the organization was just it was in so much turmoil, and I've never experienced the NFL for crappy business.
Right.
But at that time, they was in so much turmoil and people getting fired. Bill O'Brien got fired the second day I was there. Then the next week I was there, the head PR lady gets fired. Then the next week I'm there, somebody else gets. So I'm like, what is going on here? And I just couldn't, for the love of me, I couldn't get on the field. I'm not playing. I'm wondering, like, wait, I'm a vet. Why am I not able to play here? Like, I got the playbook down. I got this. I have that. Put me on the damn field. So there's like 6 weeks of me not getting on the field. I'm like, dude, this is some bull crap. I'm not going,
Right.
And then they end up playing me for like 3 or 4 games. I get a sack, and that was the end of my because they released me right the day before Christmas, And I was totally fine with that. I was like, you know what, this is it. I'm gonna walk away from this thing on my terms. Although I did get phone calls to go back and play, but I was like, I'm okay. I'm done with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Because a lot of people will push, and then sometimes it works, but then sometimes it becomes like, now I'm a bad player. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You never want to walk away like that.
Yep.
You know, but being on a transitioning team is a hard thing to do, especially a team that's young as they were.
Young, and then a lot of foolishness went on there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, they're still trying to figure out who to blame for everything, you know? So, so you get out. Did you have an idea what you were going to do?
Not at all. Not at all. Not
I'm expecting some plan. I mean, there's nothing.
There was nothing that first year besides staying at home and taking the kids to school,
which is good,
which was perfect.
But your wife, I assume, was involved in your decisions on everything you guys were going to do and everything.
It was perfect until it wasn't.
Okay.
And then year 2 comes around. You're like, okay, I'm in this routine of taking them to school. Wait, I'm taking them to school, and then what am I getting done? What am I doing? And then my wife started looking at me like, hey, man, what's your plans today? I'm like, what you mean, what's my plan? Well, we've both been in the house the last, year just hanging around, what are you going to do? I'm like, what you mean? I just worked for 10 years. What do I got to get out of the house? I'm like, I say, well, you need to start working out. I'm like, okay, I work out. I lose some weight. Get down, lose about 50, 60 pounds. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm that dude. I'm that guy. And then it comes to where are you want to coach high school football? I'm like, nah, I don't want to. And she asked me for like 5 months. Like, nah, I don't want to coach. I don't want to coach. I'm good. I ain't coaching shit. I done played it. I'm done with it. And one day I just said, all right, cool, I'll go coach. And I started coaching. And me coaching at the school led to me, meeting people and then shuffling things around. So I ended up getting involved in the community in San Diego with youth sports. I opened up an all-girls flag football league that does phenomenal now, called NFL Air Attack. The Chargers sponsor the league. I got 200 plus girls in that league right now playing, and that league is doing quite phenomenal for the most part. At the same time, I opened an offensive and defensive line academy for young guys who want to learn how to play the position the correct way. I opened that up, and that's doing well as well.
For somebody who said, I don't want to coach, now you're doing all of this shit.
All of this shit, yeah. Like, it's just, things just started happening. Put it on the table right there.
Is it starting to light you up a little bit? Like
lit me up, yeah.
Passing on the passion?
Passing that on. And then at the same time, one of my good buddies who worked for the Chargers, Tim, he called me like, hey, Corey, man, come over here and talk to Gene McAllister. I'm like, who is Gene? He's like, man, just come talk to her, meet her. I'm like, I don't want to meet nobody. I'm doing this. He's like, man, just come to the Christmas party, please. So all right, man, whatever. I get to the Christmas party. I meet Jean. She's about 91 years old, little short white lady that ends up like, hey, Corey, you should be involved with some of this stuff here. We need somebody like you to come talk to people and give them hope, give them inspiration. And so like you should get involved. People need, somebody that has of your magnitude to give them hope to stay sober. And she has owned and ran McAllister Institute for almost 42 years in the city of San Diego. She was once upon a time an addict, and she changed her life 50 some plus odd years before that. And now she convinced me to join her board eventually. At first I started just working and coming to events, helping people and talking to them and building relationships, to where now she offered me a seat on her board, which led to me being on the board at a hospital board with McAllister. And I'm just noticing that, man, there's a lot of broken families. And the more and more I'm sitting around the people that, are telling their stories about how they lost a relationship with their moms or their kids or certain people, significant others, I'm like, damn, I'm like, I know these stories. I live these stories through my own family in South Florida. I want to be a help to this. I want to try to help people and be in a positive light. And that's what sparked my journey into this whole industry of sober livings and helping people battle their addiction.
So when you're seeing all this, are you drawing lines to your past and the things you saw in your past, and now they're even making more sense to you?
Yeah, because I'm hearing the story of, oh yeah, I broke into my parents' house and I stole all the coins out of their ashtray or whatever it was in their house. I broke into my parents' house and I stole this, and now they won't talk to me. And I'm playing back. Man, I had a cousin break into my grandmother's house. I had another uncle steal my other uncle's car stereo system out of his car to go buy drugs. And I'm like, wait, this is all too familiar to. And I'm like, wow.
So you might not have known at the time exactly what you were seeing growing up, but now it's all making sense.
Yes.
And, so you start you open a sober living.
Yes.
Because now you're going, I mean, being on the board is great, and helping in the community is great. Now actually putting your money on the line and helping people that way. Did you and your wife discuss and just say, we have to help people, or what was it?
So what happened was I was telling my wife some of the stories and what I'm experiencing, and I'm telling her, like, hey, babe, I think this is something that I can be good at. I can be good with this, and just follow my lead with it. And she's like, okay, I never dealt with anybody, because I mean, my wife's Ethiopian. So she did. Well, actually she did. It wasn't necessarily her relative. It was a relative through marriage that battled with addiction. But his addiction was gambling initially. Then it led to him getting addicted to drugs and losing his whole family and everything. But she never dealt with that personally, and seeing firsthand how the drugs affect and mess families up. So she's like, I'll follow your lead. And she started coming in and sitting down on some of the stories and hearing what was going on. And it kind of made her sit back and like, whoa, I do need to help people. I maybe need to stop having drinks at dinner myself. I need to start getting better control of things that I'm doing before it spirals out of control for my kids. And that was more sort of approach she took. And she's like, if I can help people, this is what I feel I can do.
So tell me about what you have open right now.
Currently in San Diego, I have 3 sober living facilities open. One is all women's house. The other 2 are men's house.
Thank God, because a lot of women, there's a shortage of good women's housing. So thank you for doing that. What are the names of it? Do you have
It's called Prove It Housing of San Diego. So the reason why I chose the name Prove It is because you have to prove it to yourself on this journey that you won't change. So that's why I decided to name it Prove It. She wanted to name it Oasis and this and that and all these beautiful ecstasy fantasy names. And I'm like, no, let's keep it real.
I mean, we got enough sunshine houses out there, all right?
Yeah.
I like Prove It.
Yeah.
Because that's really just your story.
Yeah.
I want something. Let me prove I could get it. Let me prove I can do it. And let me prove myself. Give me a chance on the field. Let me prove it. And so that's your story. And you're doing that.
Exactly.
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. Do you now you're looking at expanding now and doing some stuff in Miami, right?
Yes, I'm looking to do some stuff down here in South Florida currently, with my moms and sisters, because they kind of seen it firsthand within family, the experience and the dynamics of the drugs and alcohol problems that we suffered as a family. So yes, I'm looking forward to getting involved down here in South Florida. And I mean, the stuff that, I'm just trying to help families and help people. And at the same time, man, just create memories that are going to last a lifetime.
Let's talk a little bit about the mission you have, for opening a sober living, which is very, very important, because a lot of people think about treatment, but they don't think about after treatment, rebuilding your life, putting yourself back together. You need a place to do that. So what was your vision when you started putting these houses together? Did you have an idea about what you wanted to achieve?
Yes. Ultimately, what I wanted to achieve, because most programs, they have you come in and you go through your 12 steps, and some places they help you get your social, get your license. Others don't. We also provide that as well. We provide that. And
so you're like doing case management. You're helping them with their life stuff.
Yes, with their life stuff. And then they still go to their meetings as well with the programs. So we help them, teach them how to, do their resumes, create a resume, help them know how to answer questions when they go in the interview. And at the same time, we also prepare them for the possibilities of things that they might endure on their re-entry to society fully. And my wife and our main vision was, okay, once you get comfortable enough and you are on track, our main goal is to get you reconnected with family if you're having family issues. If you don't have family, we want to become your family. We want the house and the program to become where you feel comfortable at, with our house managers, with the events that we do, with taking you out to the beach to do bonfires, taking you out bowling to enjoy yourself, to laugh.
Wow.
So we want to provide those outdoors and outlets. And this year here, we're going to send them to our programs to baseball games now, because we just got approved for it. So now they can go to the Padres game. Now we're going to take a bus to LA and take them up to see the Chargers play, see the Rams play, giving them experiences that they normally wouldn't think of, that would all right, these are perks that I can continue to get if I stay on track. So that's our vision, to have them either reconnect them with their family, or we become their family, to where I know when I'm having a hard time, I can get to my foundation by coming to the house that I live in and getting back involved with this community of people that's here, because they're all on the same track to go and be successful.
Corey, thank you so much for spending time with me today. As you spend more time in South Florida and we start putting things together, I hope you come in and we'll do some more of these. It's okay. You can play with us.
Put them back where you found them, son.
Is there a website they can go to follow you and see what you're doing?
Yes. You can go on my Instagram page or Twitter, which is at CLIUGET, on my Instagram, which is Corey, my first name, COREY. LIUGET 94, or you can go on NFL Air Attack, AIRATTACK, or you can go also to House of Pancakes Academy, which is my O-line D-line academy, and check it out there.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Corey, absolute pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much for all the work you do. And all of you out there, thank you for spending time with us. If you saw like a little head pop by every once in a while, that's one of Corey's kids. We've had a house full today. We've had some fun, but it's great working with somebody and talking to somebody who has a real plan to help other people, has found their peace, their happiness, and now we're spreading that on to others. This is what I want all of you to do. And also, while you're thinking about it, take a mind, make sure, take your time, make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, and like this show. It's really, really important to us. Share with your friends. For my friend Corey, I'm Scott. Thank you for joining us right here on Sober Life Podcast. We will catch you next time. Bye-bye now.